How is everyone doing? I hope not yet sleepy. So I'm Maureen, co-founder and CEO of Vesl, and today I'd like to share with you our company's vision. So with Vesl, we dream of a world where there are equal opportunities for trade, which is why we want to open up the flow of cheaper invoice financing to businesses by providing trade credit insurance on a per transaction basis. Let's take a look at this figure. This figure. $1.6 trillion. That's the amount of transactions that were rejected by banks in 2016, according to ADB, Asian Development Bank. 40% of this number is in Asia, and a staggering 52% are coming from SMEs. Everyone, this is actually a very significant thing, this trade finance gap, as it limits the growth of businesses, therefore limiting the growth of economies. Because an increase of 25% in a firm's trade financing can increase its production by 30%, its employment by 20%, and new businesses by 19%. Backtrack a little bit. So when a business actually gets rejected for financing, they do two things. First, they forego a transaction. Second, they may go to alternative lenders. But the problem with alternative lenders, they offer high interest rates. But that's alright because they offer to a lot of clients, right? Compare it to the banks here on the left corner. Banks have really competitive rates, but they have a very limited risk appetite as well. And this is where we want to come in. This is where we want to offer trade credit insurance so that borrowers, when they go to alternative lenders can lower their interest rates because by virtue of trade credit insurance, the credit risk is already reduced. Banks, on the other hand, they would be more palatable to finance the transaction because of trade credit insurance against that transaction. You might say though that trade credit insurance isn't new. That's right. It's been around for around 100 years. So how are we innovating? Usually this type of insurance is offered to big businesses with large turnovers. And insurers charge a premium at the beginning of a period to cover an entire period's turnover, which usually starts at $10,000. Vesl, on the other hand, we innovate by facilitating the provision of trade credit insurance on a per transaction basis, making it practical and affordable. Just to be clear, we're not an insurance company, we're not a lending company. We are a platform that facilitates trade financing to businesses. So we gather a bunch of invoices from businesses, aggregate them for insurers, and once they're covered, the lenders will then be able to finance these transactions. And it's a win-win-win scenario for everyone. So the businesses get cheaper insurance and financing, and both insurers and lenders get more clients. So where are we now in building Vesl? We are very excited to announce that later this month, we are going to be piloting as we have managed to connect 3 different parties. So we have an alternative trade financier on one side. We managed to have a binding and non-binding education with an S&P rated AA- insurance company with the help of Marsh. And also, we got the support of a local Filipino sugar trading house and farmers cooperative. And we are expecting to cover $20 million worth of transactions over the next 12 months. On our first year, we're starting in the Philippines, specifically in the agri-commodities sector. So trade in this sector is currently at $21 billion, $7 billion of which are SMEs, and we are targeting 1% of this for our first year's transactions. We want to do this by tapping onto our networks with the Department of Trade and Industry in the Philippines and several other industry associations. So this is our roadmap. As I mentioned, we are piloting later this month. We have a commercial launch in September, and we plan to expand across Southeast Asia towards the end of 2018. And this is the team that's driving the change behind Vesl. We are an all-ladies team. 3 of us have experience in trade finance, economics, and statistics. And we are supported by a board of advisors with over 100 years of experience in trade credit insurance, trade financing, and technology. This is Asia's time. We urge you to build Vesl with us, as developing Asia is growing the fastest among many regions in the world. And with the ASEAN integration just around the corner in 2019, today may be the best opportunity for you to help us lead the way in trade inclusion and digitalization. Share our vision. Build Vesl with us now. Thank you for listening.